Recruiter here to review your resumes. The resume we have up first is a Python software engineer. This person has graduated in 2025, the middle of 2025, and they have been actively searching for a junior Python role since then. So this person has a terrible resume because they are not getting enough interviews. Since I'm not really comfortable with the standard advice, this is what they said, standard advice of cold messaging developers on LinkedIn for referrals. You shouldn't. That does not help your chances. If some random person who you do not know messages you and asks you for a referral, you will say no. That is bad advice. That is some bad advice that I hate when candidates get. I've been relying heavily on direct applications and attending local events. Because I don't have any internal connections, I really need my resume to do the heavy lifting. Yes, you do. And survive the initial screening phase. Yes, you do. Which is what this channel is for, to help you out with this. To this day, I've gotten many email replies and rejections, but only like 9 callbacks. So this person only got 9 interviews in over a year, which is very, 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 very bad. So I'm here to tell you how to fix it, how to make your resume good, how to get interviews. And by the way, when people use my methods, they get 1 interview per 7 applications. That's how you can tell if your resume is good or garbage, is how many applications it takes to get an interview. Anything less than 50 to 1 is good. Anything more than 50 applications to 1 interview is bad. And again, I get people a 1 in 7. So I'm also seeing this out of the corner of my eye, and I did a visible blah when I saw this resume, by the way. I try not to look at it until I actually review it, but I couldn't help glance, and it was awful. So what do we need for a Python software engineer? Well, we need Python, SQL, any of them, Docker, any of the clouds. You can't just say cloud though. You have to say like AWS, GCP, or Azure, RESTful API or REST APIs, Git, CI/CD, and then this is where it's broken down to either AI. So we're talking like agentic, LangGraph, machine learning infrastructure, AI infrastructure, or full stack, so JavaScript, HTML5, and CSS3. Either one of those. Typically, they're not asking for both. They're asking for Python and one or the other. And then nice to have Fast API, Flask, and Django. So recruiters only have 20 seconds to find what we need. If we cannot find it in 20 seconds, we do not move forward with your resume. Also, I like how the 0 is perfectly aligned with the GitHub thing. So let's see. Can I find what I need in 20 seconds? No, because this resume gets practically no interviews, but let's see what I can find anyway. And go. Okay. I hate this. Okay. Degree is there. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Okay, managing a massive vault of unstructured markdown notes, retrieving. Why do I care about that? Instead of relying on keyword, I quad. What? Okay, this might be one of the worst resumes I've seen. I don't know if it's the worst resume I've ever seen, but it's definitely, I think, in the top 20. Not counting nursing resumes, because nursing resumes are the scariest resumes on earth. All right. So yeah, the problem I have with this is everything. Normally I'm able to like break it down into what went wrong. So let me go line by line and try to tell you what's wrong with this. So first things first, this is atrocious formatting. This is how you want your resume to look. This is how you do it. It's in the link below. That's my guide. It'll tell you how to do it. You definitely want that. So what we don't need is and I'm just going to mark it in red here. This doesn't count. So if you notice, some of the stuff I was looking for, like Python and SQL and CI/CD and Docker, all that stuff was there, and LangChain actually, which is not as favorable as LangGraph, but still pretty good. But if you notice, I said it doesn't count. And the reason it doesn't count is because recruiters are not keyword hunting. If we were keyword hunting, well, that would be a bit of a different story. But we're not. And what a keyword is in hiring is this. It's basically what the hiring team needs you to move you forward. If you do not have this, it does not count. And that is a keyword. But we're not keyword hunting. We are qualification hunting. And a qualification is a keyword plus how you used it, plus where you used it, plus the non-technical business reasons you used it. Basically the why, the non-technical why. And if it is not the what, the how, the why, the where, it does not count. So this skills section contains what I need, but it does not show me how, why, or where, so it does not count. So this section does not count. Education, it's fine, I want it, but don't put it all the way down there. And then you also have additional courses for boot.dev, but that doesn't count. I'm probably never going to get sponsored by boot.dev, but because of this, but I don't think this doesn't matter at all. No boot.dev cert is going to matter for you to get a job. That doesn't mean you can't use it to increase your knowledge, but putting a boot.dev cert does not matter. It does not change your it doesn't change anything. No one cares that you have a boot.dev cert. So this does not count. Your education does, but this doesn't. Then we go down to here in the About Me section, and there are only 3 things you would want in a summary. 1, if you are relocating, you have to tell us. Otherwise, it's almost an instant rejection. If you are changing industries, and I do not mean going from a software engineer to a data analyst. I'm talking about going from a 5-star Michelin chef to a basket weaver. That level of changing industries. As an example, I had a wind turbine master's student apply to a, what was it? It was a manual labor job I was working at. And I was a factory line thing, and the manager would not move them forward. That person could have used with telling me about why they moved it to get moved forward. Or third, you are explaining a non-OPT or H-1B visa, or explaining an I-140. Otherwise, you do not want a summary. So this whole section should not exist. Now we go to the actual part where I care about, which is the work experience, internship, and projects. Cool. Here we go. I can't read this. Normally, I tell people that they fill their resume with hot dogs, and this person has hot dogs. But formatting wise, this is so awful that I can't actually read what I need. And remember, this technology section down here does not count because it does not tell me how you did it or why you did it. So this part doesn't count. And then we get to the bullet points themselves, which is so difficult to read because of the structure. But managed a massive vault of unstructured markdown notes makes retrieving specific interconnected knowledge difficult as the vault grows. To solve this, I architected a custom retrieval augmented RAG backend. That is a hot dog. Now, what a hot dog is I want you to imagine that you're hungry. You go to a restaurant and you order and you just say, I would like 1 cheeseburger. And the waiter says a cheeseburger and you say, yes, I want a cheeseburger. So the waiter comes back and they bring you a plate filled with hot dogs and they say, here is your cheeseburger. And you're like, what? This is a plate of hot dogs. This is not a cheeseburger. And the waiter says, no, this is what you wanted because a hot dog has meat like a hamburger. A hot dog has buns like a hamburger. A hot dog can't have the same mustard and pickles and relish and ketchup and cheese just like a hamburger. So when you wanted a hamburger, what you really meant was a hot dog. You would walk away without paying. And that's the exact same problem with this. While I care about RAG, I don't care about the rest of this stuff. Why do I care about Fast API? I don't. I care about RESTful or REST APIs. Why do I care about a data processing pipeline? I don't. You cannot impress me. All right, listen up. Fresh grads, old grads, people without degrees, people applying. Never write your resume to impress. You will always get rejected if you do that. Nothing you say in your resume will ever impress anybody. It's not what resumes are for. So this person did that by trying to tell me all this cool stuff they did. The problem is the only thing I really care about is RAG. And again, They didn't tell me the like non-technical reason they did it. I don't care that you used ingest, unstructured, whatever. I need to know the business reason you would have done for that. And yes, I'm aware it's a project. Doesn't matter. You still have to tell me the point of it. The point of it could simply be built a web page so our customers could answer medical questions. Boom, non-technical reason. Instead of relying on basic keyword matching, I integrated a quadrant cloud, not AWS, GCP, or Azure, so I don't care. Store to index, retrieve these three-dimensional text embeddings remotely to bring the blah, 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 blah. Doesn't matter. Blah, 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 blah. Doesn't matter. In fact, you don't even mention Python until I think all the way down here. Like, how can you be a Python dev and not mention Python? And you may be like, well, Lee, X implies Y. No, it doesn't. Nothing implies nothing in your resume. I don't care if what you have should say that it implies it. Nothing implies nothing in your resume. So this is the reason this person is getting rejected left and right, is frankly because this resume has nothing in it. There's basically no Python. There's not even the correct amount of stuff for AI. I don't have RESTful APIs or REST APIs. I don't have cloud. I don't have Git. I don't have CI/CD. I don't have Docker. I don't have SQL. So I don't have almost anything I want. It's a nightmare to read, and you focus so heavily on boot.dev. I don't know why their marketing campaign is so good. It's not going to matter. Like, again, nobody cares you have a boot.dev cert. Not a person. You will probably get ads on this channel for them. And again, if you want to increase your skills, I can't speak to that. But from a hiring standpoint, boot.dev doesn't matter. So the rest of this resume doesn't matter. Although they have more problems than the boot.dev cert. Like, you put it above your college degree, which is the opposite choice you should have done. College degrees go up top always. That's why they're right here. Right here. So anyway, that's it for this resume. This needs to be yeeted and deleted because it is thrown in the garbage. But I want you to get a job. Like, let's be clear. I'm not doing this so I can be like, haha, job seekers. I'm like, this is the real world. This is what actually is going to happen when people look at your resume. And this is why you can't feed yourself. And I want to make sure that everybody can be self-sufficient. So that's it for this resume. Before we go to the next one, I just want to thank everybody for watching. And to my members who get access to my videos early, thank you very much for your support. I really appreciate it. If anybody wants to join and get access to videos early or support the channel, they can join in the link below. But thank you for your support. I could not do it without you all because I'm a small channel. Thank you very much. And if you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on YouTube and twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And let's go to the next resume. This is a resume for a data engineer. So what do we need for a data engineer? We need Python, ETL or ELT, SQL, Cloud plus S3 or the AWS equivalent. I know S3 is for AWS. I don't know the equivalent for Azure, but that's what we'll need, or GCP. So data models, data lakes, data X, whatever it is with data, the ability to manage and communicate data plans to non-technical people, meet multiple deadlines, big data, Kafka, Spark, Hadoop, Git, the industry, SDLC, etc., Tableau, Power BI, AI, ML, BigQuery, Snow, and CI/CD. So those are what we're looking for. This person is going to be on a visa. That is what they need. They stated that. So their ratio is never going to be a 1-in-7. I can get people a 1-in-7. There is an asterisk on that. Again, if you need a visa, a 1-in-70 to a 1-in-100 is what I can probably get you, because that is how hard it is with the current administration. So let's see. This is their second variation of the resume. And let's see if, well, we can get them what they did right and what they did wrong. So 20 seconds and go. Okay, this ETL pipeline using Python and AWS. Good to query. Okay, use SQL for data modeling across data warehouse and AWS Redshift by Y. Let data implementation for 30 non-technical professionals. Okay, so first things first. I don't need to know when you started. You don't need to tell me when you started. In addition, since you have 2 degrees in computer science, one is a master's, you don't need to tell me the bachelor's. If your master's or is the same as your bachelor's, you do not need to tell me your bachelor's. So you only need to tell me this. And again, you don't need to tell me this part. In fact, you could even do status graduated if you wanted. Then the first one is, okay, built an ETL pipeline using Python and AWS Lambda. That's good. To collect and store customer feedback into why I don't need Google BigQuery. Remember, if Java is different than JavaScript, then Google BigQuery could be different than BigQuery. Into BigQuery, enabling teams to track satisfaction and net promoter scores to improve product experience. Why did this improve product experience? That is the part that I want to know. It's still a little too not good on the why. Like, enabling teams to track satisfaction is okay, but why did this improve product experience? That's what I'm looking for. You need to give me a little bit more. Why is the improving product experience? Why is this important? I don't know. You didn't tell me. Use SQL for data modeling across 8. You don't need to tell me the number of warehouses. That's irrelevant. Data warehouse tables in AWS Redshift. You don't need to say this. You already mentioned AWS earlier. Providing a reporting layer by 5 teams. Why does this matter? I don't know. Like, I'm not really fully sure why a single source of truth to build business reports with consistent metrics. What were the reports for? That's what I want to know. Also, this only has 1 keyword, and you need a minimum of 3 keywords, a maximum of 6. This only has 1 because you already mentioned AWS earlier. Lead AI implementation for 30. Stop putting these numbers in your resume. They don't matter. Implementation for non-technical professionals. Introducing GPTs and MC to automate repetitive tasks. See, my problem with this is, again, this only has 1 keyword. I like the why, but why do I care about GPTs and MCPs? Again, this is only 1. And you don't tell me how you communicated data plans to non-technical people. Building a tool is not communicating technical details. I need to see how you explain complex topics to non-technical people. Not what you built, you. Because you are going to go into a meeting with Bob, who cannot turn on his computer, and if you build a product for him, he may not even use it. I need to know how you convinced Bob about this stuff. And then design that product leading to requirements, mentoring. Again, this only has like half of 1. So my problem with this is, in 4 sentences, I see 6 things I want. And a couple of those are extra credit. I do not see big data. I do not see the ability to manage and communicate technical plans to non-technical people or meet multiple deadlines. Those are 2 critical things that I'm missing. I also don't know your industry, so I'm missing that. And again, extra credit is extra credit for rare, but I'm missing this stuff. This is what I'm missing. And this is enough that it would make me not move forward with your application. Okay, here. You don't need to say meeting 100% deadline. You can just meet all deadlines. Stop with the numbers. But again, this only has 1 thing I'm looking for. Your sentences are either you explain the why correctly, but you didn't have the keywords, or you had the keywords, but you didn't explain the why correctly. So I'm going to need you to go back to the drawing board and do more, because right now 6 keywords in 4 sentences is not enough. And 2 of these are very poorly explained. So you don't have enough keywords and you don't explain it correctly. Next resume. This is another data analyst, not data analyst. This is another data engineer. So we already know what we're looking for. This person has just started applying, so we do not know their ratio. So we don't know if it's good or bad, but let's see if it is. So 20 seconds on the clock and go. Formatting is almost perfect. A little bit off, a little bit off. Built a data platform with Azure Databricks for enterprise analytics. No, what do you mean? Design and unified for multi-vendor, reducing, standardizing. Why is that important? Mobile, what? Why does that matter? Constructed CID and promote Azure Data Factory. Okay, time. Again, these are not good whys. These are not good whys at all. So first off, formatting is almost perfect. The one thing is you have too many gaps. So there should not be a big gap between here because there shouldn't be. It should be one right there. And then there's too many gaps here, 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 and here. But that's a minor issue, but you do need to fix it. The other thing is these are bad Ys. This is a case of a resume that has mostly the keywords, but not the qualifications. So built a data platform, okay, with Azure Data Factory. All right. Azure Functions and Databricks for enterprise analytics. Why were the analytics important? I don't know. You didn't tell me. You need to tell me why they were important. In addition, this only has 2 keywords. You have, and I want, see, I don't want Azure Data Factory and Azure Functions. I want Azure plus Azure, whatever the S3 equivalent is. You need to say it just with the first one. Or you could also say, built a data platform on an Azure environment with Azure whatever and Databricks. And then that's it. So there's only 1 keyword here. And remember, you need a minimum of 3, a maximum of 6 per bullet point. Then here, build unified with multi-vendor, reducing reporting complexity. Why does any of this matter? This is an entire hot dog over here. So this, I shouldn't fully exit out. I should do this. This doesn't matter. Model multiple datas. Why does this matter? I don't know. This is a hot dog. Constructed CI/CD pipelines on Azure DevOps. Okay. To promote Azure Data Factory and Databricks. You already mentioned Databricks before. And again, this would really only be 2 keywords. So this has 1, this has 1, this has 0, this has 0, this has 2. Again, you already mentioned Databricks, so this doesn't matter. And this doesn't matter. So my problem with this is your formatting is almost perfect, but your bullet points don't tell me what you've done, how you've done it, or the reason you did it. Because why is it important that you did it for enterprise analytics? I don't know. Why was it important that it enabled version control? I don't know. Where is Python? I don't know. Where is SQL? I don't know. Where is data models or data lakes? Databricks doesn't count as that. Where's the ability to manage and communicate data plans to non-technical people? Where's meet multiple deadlines? Where's big data? Where's Git? Where's the industry? So your resume doesn't have stuff in it. Like, that's the problem, is you just don't have it. Also, did you graduate from here? You will need to put status graduated or the month and date you graduated from, because it kind of reads like you're still enrolled. But this is the importance of like the content over the content over the formatting. So while your formatting is near perfect, the previous resume was better because of the content. So I'm going to need you to go back to the drawing board and put in this stuff. And remember, the rare stuff is rare. Rare doesn't mean it's a extra good to have. It just means it's rarer that they're actually going to care about it, but they might. And I need the other stuff first. Like, if you have none of the rare stuff, but everything of the other stuff, you will get an interview. If you have half of the other stuff, but you have all the rare stuff, you probably won't get a ton of interviews. So I need you to go back to the drawing board and make better sentences that are related to what I'm looking for, because otherwise this is just going to get rejected. Also, Where are you located? Your location matters. You cannot just apply to stuff outside where you locate. That is a red flag unless you put moving to that area. So next, resume. This is a cybersecurity analyst. So we do not know this person's ratio. This person is, yeah, we don't know the ratio. We don't really know anything about it besides what we've got. So for a cybersecurity analyst, what do we need? We need degree, industry. If you have any clearances, those are pretty big. Cybersecurity requires a lot of clearances. I cannot list them all, but if you have some, your chances are going to be much, much better. Then some certs. So CompTIA, CEH, basically any certs. There's just so many security specific certs. That's not like cloud certs or like Java certs. These are specifically these are specifically security certs. Then Python, CM tools, threat detection, incident response, can communicate security risks clearly to non-technical stakeholders, extra credit, MITRE ATT&CK, and cloud. So let's see what we can find in 20 seconds. And go. This doesn't matter. Some of these don't matter. But the first one does. Ran the full user lifecycle for a 360 Active Directory with, okay, that's not related. Triaged for not related. Deployed and configured switches. Time. Is this a cybersecurity analyst? I would not know. Yeah, this has nothing in it I need. Are you transitioning to one? Let's see. I see transitioning. Okay, you're transitioning. Okay, so you don't want to tell me you're transitioning to it. Right, like that's not, because you've got the education in it. This is going to be a difficult one to get, because from what I know of cybersecurity, they typically, it's more of like a mid-level role rather than an entry-level one. Like you may want to try some other roles to get experience with it, but right now my problem with this is A, the formatting's bad, right? Like this is hard to read, and B, nothing here can be used. Now, what you can do is put IT technician below it, right? But like nothing here can be used. I don't see a single thing in this that I can use to help move you forward. So then we have to go down here, and again, I only see like one thing, which is CM, right? And then I see SOC, which can be it, which is one, but where's the Python? Did I miss threat detection? I don't see it. Where's the incident response? Where's the Python? Where's communicating security risks? Where's the MITRE? Where's the cloud? Also, when did you graduate with this? I don't know. You didn't tell me. Did you graduate with this? Maybe you didn't, and you're just putting it on there. I don't know. But yeah, this doesn't read like a cybersecurity engineer. Like, why is it that I have to go all the way down here till I find the very first thing I need, which is CM? Because remember, it doesn't count if it's here. And most of these don't count either. The Harvard cybersecurity one probably does. Like you've got to be very, very, very focused with what you have, especially in a cybersecurity role, because cybersecurity has so many keywords that if you put too many random stuff in, you're gonna hurt your chances. Like this, like this, like this. This one could be useful. Like this. So you really only have two certs that I need, which is a Google cybersecurity and a Harvard CS5 cyber. But like nothing else. Like, why is it that I have to go through 5 bullet points before I get to a single thing I want? And it was nearly a year ago too. Like, your projects would go above this because there's nothing here I can use to move you forward. And then, did you do those projects in school? Like, when did you graduate? Like, I'm very confused about all of this. Like, this does not read like you're trying to get a cybersecurity role. This reads like you're trying to get a help desk role, which is a very different thing. And I don't know I don't know if you actually have the qualifications for cybersecurity based on this. But yeah, that's kind of all I can do for this one, because I'm very confused, because where's the actual experience that shows this stuff? I don't see it. Next resume. This is a resume of a full stack software engineer. This person has said, I've applied to over 150 applications and not getting a single call. I am applying in Germany. Okay, so I have gotten people jobs in Germany before. So I will say this is mostly correct, but there may be one or two differences. The keywords I use are, again, mostly good for everywhere in the world, but like there are some slight differences. Like in the UK, they value Java a little bit more than Python, while it's the opposite in the US. And in India, the keywords are the same, but the job titles of those keywords are different. So it's, instead of A+ advice, A advice. All right, so 20 seconds on the clock. What do we need for a full stack? We need degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. Yes, that's critical. If you do not have that, you're in trouble. RESTful API or REST APIs, SQL, any cloud, any of those, backend, React, React.js, Angular, Node.js, Vue.js, DevOps, CI/CD, Agile, and Git. Let's see what I can find, and I will probably not be able to find any of it. Also, I cannot scroll past this because this person fully doxed themselves. So when you submit your resume to me, please remove your phone number, your email, your LinkedIn profile, anything that could identify you and have people contact you. This is going online, people. Please don't have that. I could miss something. So, all right, 20 seconds on the clock. And go. Doesn't matter. Okay. Led the Java Spring Boot Hibernate backend of the mobile to... Okay. For what did you do, though? Migrated monolith to deploy AWS. Why does this matter? It doesn't. Hot dog. Hot dog. Time. All right, this is hard to read. I still have a minor migraine. I got new medication for it, so it's a little bit better today. But this is kind of giving me a little bit of a headache. No, it's not making my migraine easier. Sorry, migraines and headaches are different. All right, so first things first, this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. The relocating is good. Okay, so again, this part, good. The rest of this, why do I care that you blah, 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 blah. Remember, a keyword, a qualification is what, how, where, why. This does not show me where, so it does not count. You are currently enrolled. Until you graduate, I wouldn't put this on here, unless that's a very specific German thing where they want that. But until you graduate, I wouldn't put that on there. And then remove this little line. I don't know why people put these lines everywhere. These lines just make it harder to read. Stop with all these lines. There we go. So now we get down to the actual bullet points, and this is where we get to some of the problems. So, led the Java Spring Boot Hibernate backend design of a mobile homepage. Okay, across all... What is a TIA? I don't know. Okay, banking funds for 3 million customers. But, like, I need more. What could they do on the website, right? Because 3 million customers were they using that every day? Was it customers total? Because one of the few numbers you want is the number of people that use the product, but I only care about that if you did the infrastructure for it. And that's number of users per day, not number of users total. So this does not really work, right? Like, redesign of the mobile homepage where users could blah, 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 right? What did the users do? I don't know. Then we go down to here, migrating a monolith microservice. What do I care about this? Maybe microservices, but monolith I don't. It's a hot dog to AWS EC2. No, stop putting EC2. Just put AWS. The data engineers need to put S3 and EC2. Do you need to do it? No. If you look at this, I do not have those on there for a reason. People may think that AWS EC2 is different than AWS. And then Lambda is a hot dog. Lambda is a hot dog. Redis is a hot dog. And then I don't care about the number here, but I do care about which improved our mobile users' login time. Like, that's okay. Like, which reduced the amount of time our mobile users needed to log in. That's how I want you to say that. Then we go down to here, which is, again, Apache Kafka. No. You know what I don't see? You said you're full stack, right? I didn't miss that. You said full stack. You said full stack. Where's your full stack? I don't know. I don't see a single TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. Again, it was in the summary, but the summary doesn't count. So the summary does not count. But where is it? In fact, I don't even see it here. Again, where's the SQL? I don't know. I don't see it. Where is the React, the React.js, the Angular, the Node, the DevOps, the CI/CD, the Agile, the Git? I don't know. I don't see any of it. I just don't see enough in your first one. And then down here, again, there's no full... I don't see any full stack. I don't see anything involving TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. You need that. That's why you're struggling, is you're applying for full stack roles and you're proving to them that you don't have any full stack experience at all. Oh, I see why you did this. Okay. I see why you did that. The masters is because you don't have the experience until... Yeah, you have a 2-year gap, which is also going to be pretty brutal. But yeah, I just don't... I don't see the fact that you're qualified for this role. There's no... You only have about 20% of what I need. Even for a back-end Java engineer, you don't have enough. I just don't see it. You need 75% of these to move forward, and this resume has none of that. You have like 20%. So if you only have 20%, then you're not going to move forward. So that's all I could do for this resume. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. If you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlesshunter. And to my members who get access to my videos early, thank you very much for your support. I really appreciate it. If anybody wants to support this channel and get access to videos early, they can join in the link below. But that is it for this video, and I will see you in the next one to help you get ahead of your job search. Later.